Hello, welcome to the Moon Scarab channel. My name is Ramon. Geomancy is one of my favorite methods of divination. There are many ways to do this, some of them very mathematical, but the way I do it is by using geomantic sticks. So on this video we're going to talk about that, geomantic sticks. We'll define what is geomancy and we'll go over a brief overview of its history and the composition of a geomantic figure. We'll also explore the meaning of all 16 combinations that these 4 sticks generate. Let's get started. Geomancy is composed of the prefix geo, derived from Greek, meaning earth, ground, or land, and the suffix mancy, which means divination or magic related to a specific element, substance, or theme. Geomancy, or divination by earth, is an ancient form of divination with origins in Africa and the Middle East, where it was called science of the sand. The main knowledge of geomancy as a divination art came to Europe through Arabic texts from 12th century Spain, and from there it spread throughout Europe. Although geomancy has been popular earlier in history and around the world, in the Western world it was practiced during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Geomancy became one of the most popular forms of divination in Europe during the Middle Ages, second only to astrology, where different methods of generating geomantic symbols were developed. The creation of geomantic figures originally entailed marking the ground with a stick in order to generate a random number of marks. These marks were then counted to generate one of 16 possible figures, each of which had its own meaning. Each of the geomantic figures consists of 4 rows of dots. Each row consists of either 1 or 2 dots. The 4 rows from top to bottom are called head, neck, body, and feet. Each row also corresponds to the 4 elements. The top row is associated with fire, the second with air, the third with water, and the last one with earth. A single dot indicates that the element is active or present, while 2 dots indicate that the element is passive or absent. Each geomantic figure is said to be either stable or mobile. Stable figures represent conditions that are believed to be lasting or fixed. Mobile figures are thought to represent conditions which are more fluid and changeable. For now, I want to keep it simple for you. We will focus only on the use of geomantic sticks for readings. The way to do these readings is by using a set of 4 sticks. These sticks are usually decorated in some way through different methods, like paint, wood burning, etc. They have 2 pips on one side and 1 pip on the opposite side. When you cast them, one of the 16 possible combinations can be generated. The way I cast them consists of handling them from hand to hand, focusing on my inquiry. They're amazing. Let's go over the meaning of each one of the 16 combinations. I will give you the most information on each one of them. Let's get started.
Via, the path. Latin for the way, this figure resembles a road or a path, journey, action, forward movement, and change, such as opening the way, removing obstacles, safe travels, or changing careers. It's considered very favorable with concerns of roads, travels, or journeys. There's an element of loneliness connected to this figure, as well as a sense of slowness or delay. In general, it's neutral, unless change by itself infers a positive or negative result. This figure inverts any figure when added, giving it another meaning or a change. CAUDA DRACONIS, the tail of the dragon. Latin for the tail of the dragon, CAUDA DRACONIS, is favorable for bringing about any kind of endings, cutting ties with negativity, when you need to walk away from something and start anew. It's good in circumstances for ending or completing things. It brings good with evil and evil with good. This figure is considered very bad in most situations, such that in older traditions, if this was the first figure drawn in a geomancy reading, it was automatically stopped. In this sense, it's a downward spiral. It represents a person or a situation that you need to walk away from for your own safety and security. PUER, the boy. Latin for the boy, this figure is a representation of a sword or an erect phallus and refers to masculine energy, mainly aggression and passion, but also war and male sexuality. It is favorable for situations related to love and war. Astrologically, it's associated with Aries and Mars. It's raw energy that needs to be harnessed. Fortuna minor, lesser luck and fortune. Latin for lesser fortune, this figure is symbolic of success in nearly all questions, representing success that is dependent upon external help. It favors situations that can be resolved quickly and do not need to be sustained. It is used to materialize an idea or a concept. Puella, the girl. Latin for the girl, the figure resembles a woman with exaggerated breasts. It is good in most situations, especially with matters related to feminine energies, women, beauty, and nurturing things or ideas. Astrologically, it's associated with Libra and Venus, and it represents peace and passivity, which can be either positive or negative depending on the question being answered, though generally positive. This figure balances the energy of PUER, the boy. It favors anything emotional, such as softening a negative heart or forming an emotional bond. Amicio, loss. Latin for loss, this figure resembles two bowls or cups turned upside down. Astrologically, it's associated with Taurus and Venus retrograde. This image is pure loss, used for ridding yourself of a person, place, or thing, and often represents something outside of one's grasp. CARCER, prison. Latin for the prison, the figure is the outline of an enclosure, a link in a chain, or prison cell. CARCER favors activities that require solitude, such as meditation, spiritual practices, self-reflection, nurturing patience, and any efforts to establish permanence or security. In a negative context, it denotes situations of delays, setbacks, or bindings because of its reference to immobility and restriction of willpower. Laetitia, joy. Latin for joy, the figure resembles an arch, fountain, or rainbow. It is good in situations that concern potential, joy, or happiness. It favors any activity that does not require secrecy. It brings joy and happiness to any situation. It's a positive figure for nearly all questions, representing fast situations and integration. It indicates upward motion, happiness, or joy. CAPUT DRACONIS, head of the dragon. Latin for head of the dragon, this image is neutral. The figure CAPUT DRACONIS tends to be a favorable figure, but is affected by the favorability of its neighbors, and it's especially good for any kind of beginnings. In matters of change, it signifies a drastic turn for the better and new possibilities to explore, though it is unfavorable for any situation where ending something is preferable or desirable. CONJUNCTIO, the crossroad. Latin for the crossroad, the figure resembles the joining of two figures, representing good in good things and evil in evil. It also favors making any type of connection, such as communication with another person, relationships, as well as the combination of forces for good or ill. By itself, it's neutral, only becoming favorable or not by the figures around it. Acquisitio, game. Latin for game, the figure resembles two bowls or cups turned upright. It is good in almost all situations, especially for getting, gaining, and obtaining things. It's a positive figure, except where a loss is desired. It indicates a gain that could be financially, mentally, or in any other form or something within one's grasp. RUBEUS, red. Latin for red, this figure resembles an overturned glass, an inversion, meaning good in all that is evil and evil in all that is good. Like the tail of the dragon, the figure is considered very unfavorable, such that if it was the first in a reading, the reading would end. It favors any activity that depends on deceiving others or hidden knowledge, also representing passion, deception, violence, and vice. Fortuna major. Latin for the greater fortune, this figure resembles blessings growing from the earth and being fruitful in the air. It's good in all situations and represents great fortune, especially success in beginning of things. it denotes power and success, and so it's very favorable in conflicts. It also represents success of long-term goals. Albus, white. Latin for white, this figure resembles an upright glass or goblet. It represents peace, wisdom, and purity. Albus favors any activity centered around one's mind or spirit, such as reading comprehension, effective communication, and accessing ancestral knowledge or divination. It also benefits beginnings where careful and deliberate planning is needed. Tristitia, sadness. Latin for sadness or sorrow, this figure resembles an inverted arch. It is bad in most cases and inquiries, representing sadness, mourning, pain, and suffering. However, it's favorable in questions dealing with stability, building, or anything related to the earth or agriculture. It also favors any type of earth magic, working with drifts, talismans, herbs, keeping secrets, and deep spiritual pursuits. It's a great symbol to break down spells and curses. Populus. Populus is Latin for people. The figure resembles a bird's eye view of a group of people, that the outcome is based on the people of the situation or represents a large number of people or peers. It can make reference to a gathering or assembly of people, and it's very neutral. It favors anything that requires the approval or cooperation of others. It is favorable with favorable figures and unfavorable with unfavorable ones.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And click the subscribe button for more future videos about tarot, divination, and other esoteric topics.